Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the streets 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by the Sea Champion. In the headlines, the vehicle of a special reserve police officer was shot at in Enterprise this morning. A security guard was shot during KFC robbery in Maraval last night. Tobago records 5 new COVID cases. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, evacuation ordered for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as volcano erupts. And further afield, Prince Philip, husband to the Queen of England, has died at age 99. And now the news in detail. Central Division Police are investigating a report in which a vehicle belonging to a special reserve police officer was shot at. The incident took place at about 1:30 a.m. today in Enterprise. The victim told police she was at her home when she heard loud explosions. Upon checking, she observed the vehicles in her yard damaged, and on the ground were items that appeared to be spent rounds. She notified the police, and a team of officers are investigating. In other news, a security guard is nursing gunshot injuries following a shooting in Maraval last night. Reports state that at about 10:30 p.m., the guard was on duty at KFC's outlet in Maraval when 3 men entered the compound and announced a holdup. The men were all armed with guns and were dressed in outfits that resembled police attire. The guard reportedly attempted to resist the suspects, and during the process, he was shot. The suspects fled the scene with a quantity of cash and valuables, and the victim raised an alarm. He was taken to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he was treated up to this morning. In more news, there are 5 new positive cases of COVID-19 in Tobago. Confirmation came last afternoon from the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development, which said the new cases bring the total number of active COVID-19 cases to 20. Members of the public are reminded to wash their hands regularly, maintain social distancing, and practice proper mask wearing to avoid spreading the virus. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, the first explosive eruption has occurred at the La Soufre volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It was recorded around 8:41 a.m. The IWER Seismic Research Center says this is a culmination of the seismic activity that began on April 8th. The eruption is ongoing, and more information will be shared as things progress. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves ordered the evacuation of the red zone yesterday.
I hereby order as follows. 1. The evacuation of all premises in the areas designated as the red zone on the northeast and northwest of St. Vincent.
And news further afield, Prince Philip, husband to the Queen of England, has died at 99 years old. Buckingham Palace announced the news early on Friday morning. In a short statement, the palace said it is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth announces the death of her beloved husband, Prince Philip of Edinburgh. The palace assured that other announcements regarding the prince's death will be made in due course. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the streets, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by the Sea Champion. Recapping the headlines, the vehicle of a special reserve police officer was shot at in Enterprise this morning. A security guard was shot during KFC robbery in Maraval last night. Tobago records 5 new COVID cases. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, evacuation ordered for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as volcano erupts. And further afield, Prince Philip, husband to the Queen of England, has died at age 99. Stay tuned for a 5 minutes play with segment at 12:15. I am Vanessa Thomas. Good afternoon.